The Resurrection of Osiris. Welcome to Ancient the Architect TV, where we go beyond the literal to uncover the profound metaphysical truths hidden in ancient stories, deities, and esoteric knowledge. In this episode, we will explore the resurrection of Osiris in great depth, focusing on the metaphysical implications of his birth, his dismemberment, the actions of the deities involved, and the restoration of his body. We will connect the powerful events of the resurrection to our journey of spiritual evolution, examining the divine and the material planes as symbolized by Osiris and his followers. Osiris, a symbol of the first logos, or the higher self. The story begins with the birth of Osiris. Upon the first of these 5 new-made days, Osiris was born, and a voice from heaven proclaimed, "The Lord of all things hath appeared." This voice signifies the arrival of the first logos, the divine will in manifestation, which marks the advent of duality, spirit and matter. As the logos is the first expression of divine consciousness, Osiris embodies the divine will and love poured forth from the highest plane, Atma, the realm of pure consciousness. Osiris's birth represents the dawn of creation, the expression of divine energy entering into material existence. Plutarch refers to Osiris as beautiful of face, but with a dull and black complexion. His height exceeded 5.5 yards. The dull and black complexion signifies the unmanifest potential of the Logos. Black here refers to negation or non-existence before the Logos comes into being, while the height refers to the 5 planes of manifestation, with Osiris's soul stretching far beyond, across realms of spiritual evolution. Osiris, as the son of Nut, space, and Seb, time, embodies the synthesis of these primordial elements. Nut represents the higher planes of being, while Seb, as time, grounds the spirit into the fabric of creation. The 5 gods, or the 5 planes of existence, are Atma, the highest plane, representing pure consciousness; Buddhic, the plane of spiritual wisdom; mental, the intellectual and thought realm; astral, the emotional and desire realm; physical, the material world. Osiris' story is not only about creation and perfection. It is about dismemberment and resurrection. Osiris' brother Set, the embodiment of desire, ignorance, and limitation, betrays him and dismembers his body. This act is not just about a physical scattering of pieces. It symbolizes the fragmentation of the soul as it descends into matter. Set represents the limitation of consciousness, the force that keeps the soul entrapped in the lower nature. His actions mirror the spiritual challenges faced by the soul as it becomes bound by material illusions and egoic desires. Set tears Osiris into 14 pieces, scattering them across Egypt. These pieces represent the fragmented qualities of the soul, divine virtues and attributes that become separated as the soul enters the material world. The 14 pieces speak to the soul's disintegration in the world of form. Each member, each part, symbolizes a different aspect of divine consciousness, now separated and needing to be reunited. Isis, the divine wisdom of the higher mind. Isis represents the Buddhic principle, the wisdom nature that is able to perceive the interconnectedness of all things. She embarks on the journey to find Osiris's body, seeking to reunite the scattered pieces of his being. This represents the soul's quest to find its lost divine qualities and reconnect them to its higher nature. Isis, with her profound wisdom, is not just a mourning widow. She is the embodiment of spiritual perseverance and the force that guides the soul back to its original unified state. But Isis is not alone in this search. Her sister Nephthys, who represents the physical plane, assists her. Nephthys embodies the receptive nature of matter, the principle of the physical world. She represents the physical aspect of the soul, the form that carries the spirit into manifestation. Together, Isis and Nephthys act in harmony, Isis with her wisdom and Nephthys with her grounding presence. Their unity represents the marriage of spirit and matter and the necessity of both for the soul's evolution. As they search for Osiris, we learn that his body has been placed in a box, which is cast into the sea. This box is found by the people of Byblos, and it is here that the casket of Osiris is said to have been transformed into a tree. The location of Byblos is symbolically significant. Byblos represents the gathering of knowledge and the transformation of the soul's scattered parts into a coherent whole. The transformation of Osiris' casket into a tree represents the process by which the soul, broken into pieces, can be reborn through the wisdom of the higher self. The tree, much like the tree of life, becomes the source of nourishment and regeneration for the soul. This box, this casket, is symbolic of the soul's vehicle, the body, which contains both the divine and the mortal. The metamorphosis of Osiris's casket into the tree reflects the eternal nature of the soul. It dies and is reborn, just as the tree does. This process is the essence of spiritual evolution, where the soul rises above the material and becomes one with the divine again. Finally, Isis, through her wisdom and power, restores the body of Osiris. She creates a golden phallus to replace the missing one, which was consumed by a fish or a hippo. This golden phallus represents the creative force, the divine generative principle. It is through this act of creation that Osiris is restored and resurrected, symbolizing the soul's power to regenerate itself, to overcome the limitations of the material world, and to return to its divine source. The golden phallus is a powerful symbol of divine potency and regeneration. In the metaphysical sense, it represents the soul's ability to create from the spirit, to regenerate and restore itself from its broken state, just as Osiris is regenerated. This act of divine creation speaks to the soul's potential for rebirth and the reawakening of divine qualities within the individual. The resurrection of Osiris marks the ascension of the soul from the lower realms of material existence to the higher divine realms. Osiris, the higher self, ascends back into the cosmic order, having completed his process of dismemberment and regeneration. This symbolizes the journey of the soul through the planes of existence, the fragmentation of consciousness through the material world, and the eventual return to unity with the divine. The ascension of Osiris is not just about the physical resurrection of a god, it is about the ascension of each individual soul. It is about the process of transcending the lower mind and becoming one with the higher self. The resurrection represents the rising of the soul from the lower self to the higher, from material consciousness to spiritual awareness. It is the rising of the individual consciousness to meet the divine, to become one with the higher self. Thank you for joining us in this profound exploration of the resurrection of Osiris. Through this story, we see not only the power of transformation, but also the importance of unity, uniting the fragmented aspects of our consciousness, healing our lower selves, and ascending toward our divine nature. Osiris's resurrection is a symbol of hope for all who seek to reconnect with their higher self and rise above the limitations of the material world. May we all continue to gather the scattered pieces of our souls, restore them to their divine essence, and ascend to a higher state of being. Until next time, continue exploring the hidden metaphysical truths within ancient knowledge, and remember that the journey of resurrection is a perpetual and ever-active process. If you're looking for more information about the metaphysical aspects of other ancient Egyptian deities, be sure to check out my book, The Book of Stars. It's available now at healthisluxury.com. decoded.org or on Amazon. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, keep seeking and keep ascending.